And then personally, what would be one of the biggest challenges that you face?
People, I'm going to say that because this came up, or and Kirsten knows this came up, is delays.
Mm-hmm.
When the length of time it takes to get a case to trial, and it's not something it's a problem I want to say everywhere. Uh, I when I'm trying a case of a 7-year-old who's been sexually assaulted, uh, the jury, and just being honest, having a 7-year-old up there is a lot different testifying in kind of her stage of life than when she's 13.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really in some courts the delay, especially in Harris, because we did in custody cases first and then we did bond cases, so just the way it worked out. uh, but memories only get worse. Kids get older. It's a really bad situation. So I think I would really like to see a priority of how cases are tried, because delays kill us. People lose interest. Witnesses move. Uh, Sometimes they get deported. There's a U visa system, which is a whole nother thing. But uh, those delays really kill it. If I could take a case and get it to trial within a year, it would. I feel like it'd be a huge game changer.
Like the Constitution says.
Yeah.
I don't like the talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess then finally, any advice that you wish you had known when you were before all of this and looking at going into a law profession?
You have to really want to do this. I know some people say I want to be a trial lawyer, and I'll say just I can only speak for prosecutor and be in my profession, but you have to really want to do this. I see a lot of people that come through that are defense attorneys and that are prosecutors that their heart's really not into it, and I think it's a real big disservice to everyone. I don't think people realize how much is really at stake, or they don't just care for whatever reason. But if you do this, you will see the defense attorneys that there's really good ones on both sides, really great people on both sides. Unfortunately, there's bad people on both sides. Defense attorneys who just don't care, who aren't going to do anything, and you feel almost bad, and then you end up doing their job. The same thing with prosecutors who just want to work out their docket. They don't really care the outcome or the future or what happens with this offender if I do this sentence down the line. What's this person going to do to the next victim? Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You see it all the time. So do what I always tell people when they go to law school and they're like, oh, well, what about the DA's office? What about public defender's office? What about being a defense attorney? Really try and have a passion in it. Try everything out and see if you have a passion in it. And if you don't, there's tons of other jobs to do. You can do a whole lot with the JD, but really it's the highest highs sometimes, and it's the lowest lows sometimes. So you got to be prepared, and you really have to have your heart in it, or just don't do it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
That
was easy.
Oh wait, I had
Yeah.
a question. You said how to solve. We don't know how to solve the caseload problem.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that is a statement on society as well.
Which is something I also like to add, because when I interviewed Claire, that was a big thing from her side also, that at the Georgia Innocence Project, she felt that the caseload was a huge problem they needed to solve.
Mm-hmm. And I read all the art. I went to law school in New Orleans, so we work with the PD's office there and the Orleans Parish, like the DA's office there. It's a mess. I wish I had answers on how to fix it. You have to build more. And once I say this, someone's gonna be like, "Where are you gonna get the money for that? How are you gonna build more?" We need more courts to handle the caseload. The fact that if you look at the numbers for Houston, because I spent longer in Houston, so Houston's going to be my thing. We have not added a district court in almost I want to say like a decade, but it could be totally off, so don't quote me on that. But just say we haven't added a court in a decade, but our population has increased. I mean, just a huge population increase. So nothing is keeping up with population. We're playing catch up, but not catch up from, like last year we're playing catch up from like a decade ago. So no one's really thinking ahead. There's no forward thinking on, hey, Kendall County's growing. It's growing really fast. Maybe there should be another court. Maybe there should be this. Maybe there should be that.
We could just cut the courts down.
Yeah. What instead is, it's like, oh wow, this court system is completely screwed up. No one, like everything's just packed and nothing works. All right, well fine. I guess we'll add, some. And even now, they don't add we add these joke courts, and I shouldn't call them joke courts. We add these impact courts and these part-time impact courts that don't work and they don't solve
like
anything.
Felony, the new felony impact court that you guys have, that you
Yes.
brought on,
Which,
that just heard the
baby chain case.
The case, yeah.
That.
What a case. I cried reading the stuff about that case, but
it was terrible. In that impact court, if you want to see how different the TV cameras can make a courtroom look, go to the impact court. It's in the basement. It's about this size, the entire courtroom. We have fake curtains that's in the basement, so if you open the curtains, it's a brick wall behind it. And the whole, like, the jury, you can reach out and touch the jury, and then I write stuff and I see the jurors looking to see like what I'm writing. Like, everything is so close quarters, it's terrible. But that's real justice for you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.